All right, Zach, in this video here, we're going to talk about how we get our hands loaded and what we can do to get into a little bit more of an efficient position at launch with our hands. And you're going to notice in both clips here, the one on the left where you're just collecting data and the one on the right where you actually swing, in both cases, when your front foot gets down, your hands are in pretty much the same position. You'll notice one, the barrel of the bat is a little bit outside your body here. So it's a little bit further away from the hitting zone. Number two, the bottom hand, the back of that hand is facing kind of towards the sky that way. And you can see the same thing here on the right-hand side. So in both clips, this is the position we're getting our hands when we load. And we can see how you do that right there. Now what I want to do is compare and contrast that to a couple of big leaguers. We'll look at Jim Thome and we'll look at Bobby Abreu. And we're going to start with Jim Thome here. And one of the things I want to point out, obviously, both of you guys start with your hands nice and high here. And both of you guys have the back of the hand kind of facing away towards the pitcher here, as you can see. But one of the things Jim Thome is going to do is he's going to pronate this bottom hand. In other words, when he begins his stride forward right here, this hand is going to come in closer to his body, and the back of his bottom hand is going to start to face this way. See, the back of that bottom hand's facing this way, and the top hand, we can see the whole back of the top hand here. And so what he's doing there is pronating his hands, getting his arms closer to his body, so the knob of the bat is pointed towards the catcher, and the barrel of the bat is close to his head. And what that's going to do is that's simply going to get his barrel of the bat closer to the hitting zone. So he's got to do less to work up the plane of the pitch. And if you look at Bobby Abreu, he's going to do the same thing. We'll see again, he's like Thome. He starts with those hands kind of high. The back of his bottom hand is facing out this way. But when he begins his stride forward, right here, and he loads those hands, you're going to see this bottom hand turn in. And the back of that bottom hand is going to face towards the opposite batter's box right there. And we can see the entire back of the top hand. And you'll notice in this case the barrel of the bat doesn't go outside of his body. Now in contrast here with you, your hands are in the right spot in terms of where they're at in relationship to your body, but they're just not pronating. This bottom hand isn't turning enough, and the top hand isn't turning enough to get the barrel of the bat this way. And you can see where your hand is there. I'm sorry, that's the wrong line I'm looking for. See where your hand is compared to his hands. Okay? So let's try that out. Let's continue to work on that load. It's just going to get you quicker into the zone and more efficient. And the more efficient we are, the more consistent we're going to be.